Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you. Hi everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and today I'm with Brent from Care for Education, and we are going to be taking a look at 6 bricks here in South Africa. So tell us about kind of what you can do with these 6 Duplo bricks here and how you use these in schools here in South Africa.
Well, thank you. First of all, 6 bricks are Duplo. They are double the size of normal Lego bricks. And the size is really important. When young children are learning and wanting to develop creativity and imagination, actually the larger the tool, the better. And so what happens is children need to build outside their range of vision. If they're able to build and manipulate outside their range of vision, that's when we develop problem solving and lateral thinking. So that happens, like Edward de Bono said, outside the box. And so 4 Duplo bricks are the perfect size. And if I have my 5th and 6th, I have the midline, and I can do bilateral integration, crossing the midline, all the development skills that children need. With the 6 bricks, I can continue that though. I can go beyond that. I can go into numeracy, literacy, social emotional skills, games and activities. So physical development as well as mental development of the child, or cognitive development. Yeah.
That's what makes this system so amazing, is just how much you can do with 6 simple bricks here, especially being Duplo, which is something that I think a lot of LEGO fans kind of push aside Duplo a lot for system more often. So take us through some of those examples of some of the other things that you can do with these 6 bricks and the colors and the way that you can arrange those and teach kids.
So what's great about the Duplo brick is that the studs on top of the brick are really prominent and big, right? So if I'm touching the brick, the tactile experience is quite, you can feel the bumps, right? You can feel smooth areas, sharp corners, and the holes. So from a tactile experience, it's fantastic. Now with a small brick in your hand, you hardly get the tactile experience. So it's very strong at a tactile base. The studs, though, are also incredibly useful in mathematics because I can associate each of these studs with the dots on a dice. So if I build activities where I use a normal dice with dots on or numbers, I can play a game. So for instance, my game might be that whatever the dice indicates, I need to cover that many studs on the brick below. So if I throw a 4, I have to cover 4 studs. If I throw a 2, I have to cover 2 studs. But the aim is to not allow it to fall over. So what the children have to start thinking about is, if I'm going to cover 2, which 2 should I cover? So there's logic involved. So maybe these 2 are going to be better, right? And so we have all of that. So you can cover 1 stud, 2 studs, 3 studs, 4 studs. The only one you can't cover are 5. And so you can bring in agency. What would you like 5 to be? Let's play a game. You can stand up and quack like a duck, or you can do something funny. So, you know, the most important part is, how do we bring play into learning? But not just as a playful experience, as a learning experience. How does play enhance the learning of the child?
One thing that I think is really cool with this system is it's not just something that's used in necessarily like one part of the classroom, but it can be used throughout the whole learning day in the classroom in lots of different activities, no matter the subject being studied, or even just to kind of keep the kids' attention and get them focused on things. So what are some examples of some of that that's done in the classroom?
So sometimes the teacher may just need to get the brain, you know, relaxed and ready for the next exercise. And so we'll do attention grabbers or brain breaks. So the teacher, instead of shouting, everybody sit down and keep quiet, the teacher might say, and everybody hears that and they pick up their bricks and they have to copy. So you can do a pattern, and the children have to see if they can copy. But more than that, you could do it somewhere. So I could do the pattern behind my head, I can do it to my side, I can do it under my leg. So children are now starting to concentrate. They're listening and they're concentrating, and there's a calmness that creeps into the classroom. So you're quite right. That would be maybe after a break, where a recess where they've been running outside and chasing a ball and it's hot. So you can bring them down. But I can also do very quick activities, like say to the children, okay, I'm going to hide my bricks, and I'm going to hold up 3, and you're going to look, and when I tell you to, you're going to build it. So then we hold up the bricks and we show them the bricks, and then I pack them away, and then we see if they can commit that to memory. So we can do memory activities and exercises. The cool part about a big classroom is that I could have 50 to 100 children all doing this exercise at exactly the same time. And in our schools in Africa, we have big classrooms. Overseas, you might not have that. So how do I engage or make all of those children active in the lesson? And that's by making sure that every single child has their own access to a set of bricks. And instead of giving them a big pile, we just break that up into a set of 6 for each child. So that describes how we use that individually with every single child.
Yeah. You mentioned the classrooms there. So here at your facility, which is in the Johannesburg area here in South Africa, how do you kind of train teachers and get them kind of prepared to take these into the classroom?
So we have to do an initial training. So not everybody in Africa knows how the Lego bricks stick together. So clutch plower, they don't understand. They don't know how the studs actually help in terms of building and stops it from breaking. So it sounds crazy, but we have to go back to the basics. We have to show them that and teach them that and explain the advantages of that. One of the biggest things is they come here and they say, well, isn't 6 bricks going to limit me? You know, it's only 6. And when we explain to them that there's over 915 million different ways to connect these 6 bricks, then I think they start realizing that that's not the limit. So it's really about, you know, teaching them literacy, using the bricks for instance, language. I might have all my bricks in a row, and one of the biggest stumbling blocks to comprehension, which is a big problem in Africa, is comprehension, reading and understanding, is teaching them prepositions. So for instance, up and down, I could say orange up, dark blue down, yellow up, light blue down. I can draw that preposition. Now I have everybody in the classroom playing a game as far as they're concerned, but I'm actually teaching them prepositions. And we can do things like mathematics, we could do the same. So it's really teaching those teachers how to take the basics, the fundamentals, what we call the foundations of education, and how would they use a manipulative to get the children to understand that. And if you can keep these bricks at arm's length, then the child has a manipulative or a product that helps them understand any concept. I could just show you that I disagree or don't understand, or I agree or do understand. So now the teacher has an indicator. Who understands? Who's with me? And everybody holds up a green brick. Those who hold up a red brick, I know I can go and help them. So very basic, simple things to make a big impact in the long run.
Yeah. And speaking of the big impact, what has the impact been here in South Africa, and then also just abroad, kind of throughout the world with 6 bricks, as this has become such a big thing now from what you guys started? It's really incredible.
Yeah, so it's caught on as an idea, and I think it's because we've simplified it down to something really simple. And if it's simple, people understand it and they can implement it. So teachers aren't frightened by it. It doesn't look, you know, there isn't a book with a whole lot of instructions that comes with it either. So it just, people are more comfortable with it. And if you're comfortable, you'll use it. And what we need children to touch and manipulate. More touching, more manipulating is going to be a better education in the end. So yes, we've had programs. We've had people around the world show an interest and then come and be trained and then take it back to their countries. And in South Africa, we're extremely lucky because our government have worked with the Lego Foundation and UNICEF to develop a national rollout. So we actually put in 6 bricks into the hand. The aim is to put it into the hand of every single child in grades 1 to 4, the first 4 years, the foundation phase. So far, we're just under 2 million sets of bricks in the hands of children. We've got a bit of way to go. But
that's incredible.
Yeah, that's a big number, you know, and in 3 years, I think that's quite remarkable. And I'm hoping that this grows and that we start seeing this as an initiative in other countries as well.
Mm-hmm. And I know one thing that's really big in schools today is teaching kids things like programming, computer programming, those types of ideas. So how can this system help with teaching those ideas when maybe like computers aren't necessarily available in all the schools here?
Yeah, so in South Africa, we have a new subject called robotics and coding. And the reality is we don't have the devices. So it's too expensive to have the devices and we don't have the latest devices. So we need to be able to do unplug coding. So that means no device, you don't plug anything in, but you still need to teach the same concepts that a child learning coding would learn. And 6 bricks is brilliant actually for that, because if you think about Scratch, which is an open source program and available to many children around the world, Scratch uses colors as well. So colors mean certain things in programming. And so we've learned to take our bricks and then have a same association with the Scratch programming. So we could say green brick is for starting a program, so I can put down my green brick to start a program. If I want a child to move forward, I would use a yellow brick. So take 1 step forward would be a yellow brick. And I can do this on a mat where I can actually say, well, if I slide the brick to the left or the right, it'll tell you whether I need to take 1, 2, or 3 steps. So by sliding it, I get that. If I want to turn left or turn right, I use the blue brick. And if I put the brick to that side, it tells me that I'm going to turn to that side. So even if the children don't know what left is, they can still follow it by looking at it. And if they do it to this side, it means turn right. If I want to turn it in diagonal, so 45 degrees, I use the light blue brick. So turning is still blue. So the concept of turning is blue. So I can turn diagonally. I can jump up or I can jump down. So I can jump on top of an object, which they do in games when they gamify things. They'll jump up or jump over. So we've got jump up and jump down, and we can end our program just like any good program would have an end. So if we use our bricks and we put them collaboratively together, we could actually solve problems in the classroom just using bricks.
That is fantastic. I love that. Another really cool thing you guys have done is you've made a lot of these resources available online in different ways. So talk about kind of the access that people around the world can have to this and how they can use this system.
Yeah. So with the support of the LEGO Foundation, we felt that this type of program is a right, that children anywhere in the world should have access to this. And of course, most of our material is in English to start off with, but people have translated it and it's in quite a few languages now. And we have a website that you can go to and you can download everything for free. So all the templates, all the mats that we then use with the bricks, all the teaching material, how to start, where to start, even an app which explains all the different variations. So all of that is freely available on our website. And that website is, think about caring for education, and we just shorten education. So it's Care for Ed. So if you go to www.carefored.co.za, which is South Africa, you'll be able to access all the materials.
That's fantastic. We'll make sure to put a link to the website in the description as well, so people can just click on that and check out all of these resources. I love the work that you and the whole team here are doing. I think it's incredible. So thank you so much for taking us through the 6 brick system here, and I can't wait to see where it goes in the future. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.